Hello, everybody. It is Ben here with from Ben Talks Talent, and we have another Ben Talks Talent conversation today. On the podcast today, we have a special guest, Chris Velasco. He works in the talent acquisition space, and he also helps people up-level their resumes to help them get hired. Chris, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So we talked about this when you and I met a couple weeks back, but I wanted to start the conversation here. What made you start or get into helping people with their resumes? Like, what was the impetus for that? What made you go, you know what? I need to help.
Yeah, that's a great question. I started in the TA space, I'm gonna say 5 years ago. And when you're fresh in the TA space, the only thing you do is review resumes, right? So I'd be reviewing easily 1,000 resumes a week. And when I first started, it was very like, oh, good resume, they get an interview, bad resume, they go away. And I hated that. I hated that. I felt like it was a bad customer experience for the people who were applying for jobs. And I was just like, why are so many people struggling to share their skill set? And so after a few years, I did it for 3 years and I learned more about strategy. I learned more, and I'm in the space I am now. It's very more strategic versus like plug and play, I guess. And
Yeah,
I decided, you know what? I'm gonna start a business to help people show who they really are on paper. And so that's what I
yeah,
do now.
yeah. It's so funny because I've been in the space for what feels like lifetimes, and you're so right. Like the reality is, being great at a job guarantees you nothing,
Yep.
and it's so often the people who put together the best resumes, and then who ultimately interview who end up getting hired.
Yep.
And those aren't necessarily linked with like being good at whatever
Yeah.
your chosen field is. So it's a needed space because it can be so frustrating for people to be great at something, but because they're not a great resume writer, they don't understand how some of the
Yeah.
internal mechanisms work. That keeps them on the outside looking in. Let me ask you this question, because I think for a lot of people out there who have applied and are not getting jobs, this is probably something that they would want to know. What would you say are like the top three mistakes that people make when they're putting together a resume, to apply for a job and hopefully get hired?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see the most is people try turning their resume into a job description
Mm,
instead of like a highlight reel of who they are.
yeah,
Like, no offense, right? I've hired 1,000 servers. I know what a server does every single day. You don't need
yeah,
to describe your job to me. I want to know, what did you do to make an impact? How did you create a great guest experience for someone? How did you increase sales? Do you get repeat customers? Like, that's the important stuff that we're looking for when we're
yeah,
looking at resumes. Again, we don't need to know like, hey, I know how to clean a table. Yes, absolutely. I know what a server does,
yeah,
right? I think the second mistake that people make is throwing numbers on their resume without having anything to back it up. And
mm,
so I'm not gonna lie to you. If I see metrics, if I see someone who puts up, hey, they reduced turnover by 25%, you better be ready to answer that, because I'm gonna ask you,
yeah,
where did you find that number from? How did you calculate that? What reports do you have to back it up? And so a lot of people, they'll put those numbers in there, and then when I ask them or challenge them on it, they don't know how to explain it. And that's a huge
yeah,
turnoff, right? If you don't know how to
yeah.
explain your success. Um, and I think the third biggest mistake I see is people not tailoring their resumes to the specific job
Mm,
they're applying to. So
yeah,
people will use like one generic resume, and I see it all the time. I'll see a resume with like the file saved as like resume for XYZ company when they're applying
yeah,
to my
yeah,
company, right? And
yeah,
so it's like you need to, every time you apply for a job, you need to look at the job description and see what it is they're looking for, and then tailor your resume with your experience around those things, because that's somebody, when people look at resumes, recruiters typically, we have so many coming through, we're going to scan your resume for 10 to 30 seconds. And if you
yeah,
can't highlight everything that you've done in those 10 to 30 seconds, we're going to move on, right? So
yeah,
definitely tailor your resume to those jobs.
yeah. These are great points. And as someone in the space, like, that advice slaps. Like, I think I can't tell you how many times I've seen like Ben White sales resume, but they're applying to a job that isn't sales, right? And it's
Yeah,
just like,
absolutely.
I think, it's if you have a resume that you think you could apply for 100 different jobs, that's a problem,
Yep.
like because it needs to be customized. I also think it's funny, advice one and advice two are kind of linked. You don't want to
Yep.
just say what you do, you want to talk about your impact. But
Yep.
per advice two, you need to be able to back that up. Like when someone
Yep.
says, reduce downtime 25%, I expect that line to continue by implementing lean methodologies that, blah, 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 right? So
Yeah.
you cannot just put numbers in there willy nilly and expect a good recruiter to not go, hey, it's good. You have this in here. I want to be able to articulate your value
Yep.
proposition to the hiring manager. Can you tell me how you did that so I can effectively sell you? Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you're going to get
Absolutely.
questions.
Yeah, I tell my candidates, the people I work with all the time, like if something is going to be on your resume, you need to be able to explain every aspect of that point,
Yes.
right? I don't just because you worked on a specific project, if you barely touched it and you don't have much to talk about, don't put it on
Yeah.
your resume. No matter how impressive it is, you need to be
Yeah.
able to have straight, concrete facts about how you created impact on whatever project you put on your resume.
Yeah. I think people run into problems with that all the time too, because I think, you ask people behavioral interview questions. Give me an example of a time if you led a project where you had to influence the outcome without directly supervising people or
Yeah.
something like that. And then people use an example they're aware of, but they weren't a part of it. And maybe that works initially, but it doesn't work when someone asks you a secondary question and a third
Yeah.
question. And next thing you know, you don't have the information.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so let me ask you, this is, I think, would be helpful to people out there. If you could give someone just like one piece of advice to like immediately make their resume better, more effective, what would it be?
That's a great question. I would say stop trying to impress and start trying to be understood, right?
Okay.
Most resumes fail because they're so vague.
Yeah.
And I always tell my clients, like I said earlier, be clear on what you do, be clear about how you added value. Why does that fact that's on your resume matter?
Yeah.
And know your experience like the back of your hand. I tell my clients all the time, like, it sounds funny, but practice in front of the mirror or like write down all of the things you've ever done and be able to speak to every single one of those things. I remember back when I was trying to get into my first HR job, I'd be on my lunch break at the company I was working for with my laptop pulled up, and I would be typing notes and then like practicing into the camera of my laptop, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, like the recruiters, they're gonna spend 6, 7 seconds on your resume. I think I said 6 to 30 to 50 seconds, whatever that is. You
Yeah.
should be able to immediately understand who you are and what you're good at and how you add value. That's the biggest part. How can you
Yeah.
add value? If you can explain that, you're good to go.
Yeah. That's really important. Now, Chris, people can find you via LinkedIn if they want help with their resume and ask you about your services. Is there anything else people should do if they want to get in touch with you for help with their resume?
Yeah, I'm very public. So if you look up Christopher Velasco on LinkedIn, you can definitely find me. I also have a Facebook page. On Facebook, you can search Inked Resumes, INKD Resumes. And then that it'll come up with my page and it'll have a picture of me there. So
Okay,
yeah.
there you go. He'll look just like he looks now. Just look for him like that. Okay, so I always like to end the interview with kind of the outside the box question. What do you do for fun? For the viewers out there, I don't know what it is. I never want to know the answer to this except for like live on the show. So, Chris, what do you do for fun?
Yeah, and very basic, guys. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and so it's chasing them all the time, teaching them, growing with them. They're really into like tackling people right now, so catching them when they're running at you.
Okay.
Just really enjoying this phase of life for
Yeah.
now. But before that, I guess I used to be really into reading,
Okay.
not like fantasy stuff, more like business and um, actually a lot of recruiting books, if I'm being honest with
Okay.
you. But yeah,
Yeah.
very boring, but that's what I like.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Chris, I appreciate you coming on the pod today. If you're out there and you're watching this and you want Chris's help with your resume, you know how to reach out. But otherwise, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
on and have a great
absolutely.
rest of the day.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good one.